Radio TV phono nut here, and what we have is another one of those Crosley junky replica radios from about 1988. This is a replica of a Zenith model 5R312, I believe. Of course, I'd rather have the Zenith version, but you know, this was cheap, and we'll try to get it going. Off on switch is stuck in the on position. Volume control is very, very touchy.
Down fast, study fast, yellow stand up when you pass, turn over your bones and give me your cash. You know, casual thing. You know, we don't have enough time in January or December, whenever, to watch these.
It sounds pretty good, but we need to open it up and clean the switches and see if we can get this off-on switch to work. If not, we'll just put a toggle switch on the back of the radio. Alright, here's the inside, just your typical little Chinesey radio board. It looks like one of those deals, the whole thing's on an integrated circuit. There's our selector switch assembly connected to the main board via a ribbon cable. There's a speaker, typical 4-inch speaker, and here's the side-mounted cassette grinder, which I'm really not too worried about. That's something else I could almost just bypass and put an auxiliary input jack on the back of the radio. And like the Belmont replica that we recently showed, this one also has a heavy metal weight in the bottom of the radio cabinet, because without it the radio would be so lightweight that it would just fly off the table. Alright, I just sprayed the volume control pot.
Harris is your complete hunting outfit.
Alright, that helped.
Come in today to get you what supplies last. Sports Center.
Wednesday and Thursday, March 24th and 25th in Philadelphia. You can call Dinko Auction Company today. Around here, take
At least the tuning condenser is not scratchy and erratic like a lot of these tend to get. Alright, I got in here with the buttons and sprayed them the best I could, and the power switch is at least working mechanically now. Let's fire it up and see if it works electronically.
Find gas!
I always use gas. Some months I make 200 to 300.
I love getting money
back. That's good. It's working.
It's just free money for...
No cash! You get your cash back, right? Me in the dress, and he felt like he almost hated that.
That's from a single view.
Hurricane glass.
You know, I get asked.
Where we're headed. Yeah, so
I found an old Willie Nelson tape that somebody recorded.
That's a given, along with taxes. You have to expect taxes to go up.
Yeah, they're talking about the minimum wage going up, and it's going to cause a price increase of everything. And you know, anybody with a grain of sense ought to be able to figure that out. If how much I've got to pay my workers goes up, then I'm going to have to charge more for what I'm doing to compensate for it. And we're not going to be, the society as a whole is not going to be in any better shape. In fact, they may end up being in worse shape than they're in right now. Alright, let's see what we got here.
Don't think they want to wait till...
See if this thing chews it or plays it or does whatever with it. Well, am I putting it in right? Yeah, I guess. Alright, it's playing. Alright, come out. It's playing, but the volume level's not nearly as loud as the radio is, and that could be because this is a home recorded tape, and whoever recorded it probably didn't have their level set high enough. But like I said before, I'm not really worried about the cassette player in this thing. The only reason they put that in there so the old people who were buying these things could play their Fibber McGee and Molly and Amos and Andy, etc., tapes that they bought during their last outing to Cracker Barrel.
Prefer email? It's an independent marketing campaign with a creative message. Or an outgoing, dynamic personality that thrives at building relationships. Email your resume and references to MMG.
But as far as a radio, it's not a horrible radio for just average listening to your local stations. Now, like I've already said, this is not a DX magnet like the GE replicas are, and this one doesn't sound as good as the GEs, but it's still not a horrible radio.
You are a parent and you have...
Yeah, it's sad. Even the so-called top 40 music now is pretty much basically the same as what's being played on the mumble rap station. And if it's not actually mumble rap, it's not far off from it.
Hootin', hollering, hootin', black and beautiful, you the one I'm to sound like.
And even the modern country is pretty much nothing more than what I call tractor rap.
We're turning up every Sunday from noon to 4. It's Dee Dee's Weekend Kickback on Meridian's #1 for hip-hop and R&B on 95.1 The Beat.
The Liquor Cabinet, York, Alabama's one-stop shop for all your liquor, wine, and spirits. Open 7 days a week. Great prices, even better service.
Yeah, gotta get my liquor.
North Broad Street, York, Alabama. The Liquor Cabinet.
The Mississippi Lottery is introducing a new $20 scratch-off game, the $100 million extra. $100 million in cash prizes, and you could win up to $500,000.
What would happen if you got with me? Kissing you would hit the spot with me. Come and skip a couple rocks with me. Give me any heart.
Yeah, this is what passes for country these days.
Give me. And I roll with a crew wins with.
It's with the Americans. Similar has. Dragon, but still he don't.
Maybe I'll be fast as you. Maybe I'll break hearts too.
Alright, that's about all I've got for this. More to come later.